Hi guys, welcome to the tutorial today. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to animate this shot. If you did not watch part one, how we plan the animation, how we come up with concepts, go ahead and watch the part one. This tutorial, we're going to be animating this. Here are the plugins you're going to be needing for this tutorial. Number one, you're going to need the Motion Tools V2 plugin. Search it up on Google, download it. You're going to most likely need the Ease Copy plugin so that you can copy your eases over to another keyframe. Search it up and download it. You are going to also need the Reach plugin. Search it up and download it. And you're also going to need the Animation Composer. This is the most important one. Search it up and download it. And with that, let's get into the video. All right, guys, welcome back. And hopefully you've downloaded the plugins I am going to be using in this tutorial. Just to mention them again, we are going to need the Text Exploder, Ease Copy. I might use Reach. I don't think I have need for Reach. Animation Composer, Motion Tools. Pretty much that's it. That's the tools I use. Okay, so I have the voiceover in here, so I'll just play it and we can hear what it sounds like.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. They position...
Okay.
It starts with their content psychology.
Okay.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry.
All right, so here's how we are going to run through this very fast. First of all, this is the audio layer. I've locked it in. And we're going to come back to the script as we planned in Photoshop. I believe you can see my Photoshop here. So we're going to follow through and we're going to redesign in After Effects very quickly, keeping green as an accent color. Yeah. Keeping green as an accent color. All right. So
it took 1 year for...
So this part says, I'm just going to add a marker here. So it took 1 year. It's going to go into this section. So I'm going to switch on my guide and I'm going to say it took. Okay. And we're just going to pull this down and make it capital letters. 1 year. Right? 1 year. How did we have it designed here? Yeah, cool. So this is going to be somewhere here. And we're just going to make it bold and then reduce the size. Okay, then we'll make this black. Not totally black, but you get the point. Okay. So we have, it took 1 year. And this is where it took 1 year is happening.
It took 1 year. It took 1 year. It took 1 year. It took 1 year. It took 1 year.
Okay, so sorry, this is gonna be long, so I just have to confirm my Streamlabs is in good shape. Okay, so this is where the Text Exploder plugin comes in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click it and I'm gonna say bottom to, I think top to bottom is the one I want. I'm going to apply. No. Bottom to top. No. Top to bottom. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Okay. I'll delete this off. You see, it breaks the text into two different layers. And then for this one, the same thing. So delete this one and then pull these two up. All we want to do is zoom in. We're just going to let the letters appear. So it's going to be, it's retention editing, so it's going to be very fast.
It took 1 year. It took.
So it took.
It took 1 year.
1 and then year. So let's see.
It took 1 year for. 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 It took 1 year.
That's great.
It took 1 year for. It took 1 year for. It took 1. It took 1 year for. It took.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, now what we are now going to do is around somewhere here, we are going to cut all of these layers off. And this is how we are going to do. We are going to stack it from the top and keep coming down. So it's kind of easier to animate that way. If I pull my layer panel up like this, it's easier to animate that way. So the next part now for this candy brand, okay? Now what we are going to do is, let's just duplicate the text here. Okay, before we do that, let's come back to Photoshop. I hope the way I'm going back and forth is not making it. I want to copy that color code and I want to create a solid. So this is going to start from here. Okay.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand.
Okay, so I'm going to do this differently. In the meantime, let's bring in the images. Let's bring in the images. Okay. Let's bring in the images. So I'm going to bring these 3 images in. I'm going to bring these 3 images in and we're going to scale it down. Oh my, I brought in the JPEGs, not the PNGs. My bad. So I'm supposed to bring in the PNGs. So yeah, these are the PNGs. And what I'm supposed to do now is I'm going to scale the 3 of them down so we have something like we have here in Photoshop. Then I'm going to pull one to the side. I'm going to pull the other one. I'm going to pull the other one to the side. Select all of them. I'm going to scale them down again. So this one come in a little bit, this one come in a little bit. Then I'm going to rotate this and I'm going to rotate this by 7. Oh, no. I'm going to rotate this as well by -7 degrees. -7 degrees. So we have that rotated. I just hope I'm not explaining too fast, but yeah, okay. So if you're here, hopefully you have some basic knowledge of After Effects, but I'm going to still explain some things in detail. So for year, I'm just going to duplicate this year text and I'm going to pull it all over to this side. And then we're going to move it over here and call it candy. Okay. We're going to call it candy. And then we're going to scale it up, increase the size. Yeah, here like this. And like we did in Photoshop, we're going to put it behind. Okay. We're going to put it behind and increase it like this. And then we're going to duplicate, let's just call this candy. And then we're going to duplicate. Why that happened was that my caps lock was on. That was why I lost my preview. Candy brand. Okay. So we have this text candy brand. I'm going to change it back to normal black so it's not italics anymore. And then what I'm going to do is convert this to brand first. Now to have that curvy text effect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a mask inside of the text layer. Then I'm going to come over here to path options and I'm going to say follow path 1. So if I tweak the path now, you can see that we are able to make the text follow that path. Then we're going to do the same thing for brand. We're going to draw a mask for brand as well. And sorry, we're going to go into text, go into path options. Then for path, we'll choose mask 1. So we have that laid out. We have that laid out. And yeah. Okay, so it looks like we need to increase the size here. And then we need to make this pink background. You know, it's a candy brand. We need to make this pink background. So what we do here is we add a solid. We bring the background in. Okay, we bring it down like this. We have to cut it to make sure that we are at, you know, and then I want to change. Now I want to make it candy-ish, but I still want to maintain the fonts that I'm using, right? So let's scan the text a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I want that Y to come closer. Perfect. And then let's scale everything. Okay, then for the brand, let's change the text color as well. Now, what I think I want to do here is I want to add a layer style to the brand text, a stroke. And then for that stroke, I'm going to make it the same color as the background. And I'm going to increase the stroke size. Then I'm going to add a drop shadow. I'm going to add a drop shadow. And on this drop shadow, I'm going to increase the distance of the drop shadow. And I'm going to increase the size of the drop shadow. Then I'll pick this background color and then make it slightly deeper. Then let's come back to the stroke and let's fix the stroke. So the thing is, I want it to be a little playful around this part where we are showing the candy brand, right? So that's just what I want. I want it to look a little playful. So maybe I should make this color, yeah, a little lighter. Yeah, a little lighter. And then I will now click on this layer styles, copy it, come over to candy and paste it. And you see we have that design, but it kind of looks flat because we don't have, what is it called? We don't have any drop shadow on the candy boxes, on the candy packages. So we're going to add some drop shadow. Let's add from the top. Let's right click, come to layer styles, come to drop shadow, and we are going to increase the distance of the drop shadow. And we're going to increase the size of the drop shadow like this. Let's make it a deeper version of that blue, so it kind of looks like that blue shadow, right? Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to copy that layer style. I want to come to these two and I want to paste them. And just like I did already, I'm going to pick each of them, come into the drop shadows, pick the backgrounds, and then make them the deeper version of those backgrounds. And for this one, I think I want to increase the size. I think I want to increase the size, space it out like that, and then come over here for this one. We're going to make the drop shadow show more to this other side. So I'm going to rotate it, yeah, to come down to this other side. And what I'm going to do is pick the background and then make it a deeper version of that. Okay, and so far this is looking good. This particular frame is now looking good. Another thing I could possibly do, Oh my God, I did not even save this. Let's just call this Joyride Suite. Let's just call this Joyride Suite. Another thing I can do to, make this particular frame even more interesting, let's just come here and let me try to, just create some colorful colors. Let's see if yellow, no, hold up. I'm so zoomed out, I can't even see what I'm selecting. So I'm just trying to get more colorful, more vibrant colors. That would be the word. So yeah, I think I like this. Yes, that's better. And then another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to add something called a a radial blur, radial fast blur. I think that should be the one I'm looking for. Okay, and it looks something like this, which is good. Now what I want to do is I want to pick my circle tool and I want to mask it and then invert the mask. So if you see what's happening here, you see we have that inverted mask. Let me just release it. So you see we have these other parts are blurred, but there is more focus on the joyride. So what I want to do is I want to feather the edge of that mask. I want to feather the edge and then I want to expand that mask a bit. Okay, I want to expand that mask a bit. Okay, so we have something like this. Let's just expand the mask again a bit, just a bit. All right, that's good. Now we want all the focus to be on the center, right? So we are going to duplicate this and we're going to duplicate the background layer. We're going to pick a deeper shade, not so deep. Yeah, something like this works. And then we're going to mask it like this, and then we are going to invert the mask and we are going to feather, right? We're going to feather the mask and then we're going to expand the mask something like this. Expand the mask something like this and yeah, I think we have a very interesting background in comparison to what we had here. I feel like that's more improved. So what we can do now is, let's watch it once again. Let's watch it once again. Let's watch it once again.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is this, because the hook is like everything. How it starts up is everything. So we're going to put a new solid layer. You know what, hold up. So this is the pale pink layer. So let's bring it over here to the beginning. Okay, we're going to bring it over here to the beginning and we're going to change the color of the 1 year to that purple color that we have. We're going to change it to that purple color that we have. So just come over here, pick this color. Pick this color. So you see now, it blends.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took 1 year for this candy brand.
Sorry, it's this might drive you nuts a little bit just watching it, but okay. So let's save, and what we are going to do is we're going to now animate. We're going to now animate. We're going to now animate the whole thing. Okay, so this beginning sequence, where does the candy brand end? The candy brand conversation, where does it end?
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make.
Okay, so let's just say it ends here where it says to make, right? To make. So this is where it ends. And we are going to quickly animate this part. So how do we do that? First of all, we are, this adjustment layer right here, we are going to pull it all the way out. And then this background, let's take this background off. These two backgrounds, we're going to pull it down here and make it the background for this whole section. So this whole section now that we're about to...
It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took one...
Okay, so what we are now going to do is we're going to make all these layers except the adjustment layer and the background layers. We're going to make all of them 3D. Right? We're going to make all of them 3D. And then what we are going to do next is this first section, we're going to create select all of it. It took 1 year. This is the whole text. And then I'm going to use my motion tools. You can add your null manually, but I'm going to use my motion tools to add a null. So null 1 is controlling this whole body of text. And you see if we move it out of the masked area, the adjustment layer starts to affect it, which is a very cool effect, right? And you see how our colors are well blended in a way that I think I like that. So now what I'm going to do is, it took 1 year, okay? And then I'm going to also create a null for this as well, okay? And then I'm going to add a camera. I'm going to add a camera. Now, what we are going to do here with this section is, when it says 1 year, we're going to zoom out into this section. So how do we achieve that? Let's just add a null to the camera, and then it took 1 year for this candy brand. Now this null for the candy brand section, we're going to pull it out towards the camera. Okay? Stick with me here. It's tricky, but it works. So it took 1 year for this candy brand. Now we're going to animate the camera to zoom back into candy brand. Right, so from here, let's just go 10 frames, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position, that's 10 frames fully. And then we are going to zoom back in like this. And it's going to be pretty fast. But, you know,
for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand.
So can you see, what I did is I pushed the candy brand forward in space, and then so you see how that animation is working now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to animate this candy brand section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some pop-up sort of animation. So it comes in popping in, not just static. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keyframes. And then I'm going to ease the beginning. And we're going to make the beginning 0. Yeah. And then we're going to add elastic. Just click on this elastic to make it bouncy. It's going to add a bounce effect. Okay, it's going to add a bounce effect. Same for this. Same for this. Okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want these last two to pop up first, and then number one pops up last. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So it comes in some kind of consecutive order. Can you see? Okay, no. Okay, so I want number one to pop up over number two. So I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull this. Sorry. Yeah, this is the one I want to pop up last. So I'm going to pull it like this. And we're going to have this. Yeah. Okay, so let's watch it again.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took.
Okay, so that zoom out is very, very. It's almost like it did not happen. So I'm going to zoom it out even more and then use this null that controls Candy Brand to push Candy Brand forward once again. Okay, so let's watch that again.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took.
So I don't still like the pacing of that. Oh, let's make the easing tougher.
For this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year.
I'm still not very satisfied with that range of movement. I feel like we could still benefit from it going backwards even more. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, but honestly, I'll still prefer it goes back more to really create that fast-paced movement. So
it took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took 1.
Okay, you know what? Let's move the whole Candy Brand section forward a bit and see if that makes it look better.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year
for this candy brand. 1 year for this candy.
Oh, I think I have my preview on full, I guess. Oh my God, I did. Let me just put it on third so the preview is easier for us.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took 1 year for this candy brand.
All right, so we are not still done. So
it took 1 year for this candy.
So Candy starts around here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come to our animation composer, this plugin. If you have it, just come to starter presets, come to effect and text layers. And the one I'm using here is this guy. So it just makes your work easier, right? So I'm going to put, you know what, let me just leave him here. And I'm going to put him over here. Then if you want to move the transition in, so you're going to see something like this.
Candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand.
Oh. So you see how the candy animates. So everything now is now animating in. So let's watch it.
Brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand. It took 1 year for this candy brand.
Okay, so we're onto something nice now, right? So we do the same thing for brand. We add it in and then U to collapse all keyframes. And then let's just pull this somewhere here as well. And then let's watch the whole intro again.
It took 1 year for this candy brand. 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 It took.
So I hope that section is clear. If you have any questions, you can easily ask in the comment section and I'll try my best to answer. All right, so to make $14 million.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become. It took 1 year. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and 1 year for this candy brand to make.
Okay. Okay, so everything is we want everything to sort of cut off around here. Okay. We want everything to cut off around there. We don't want the layers spilling over. So just cut off all the layers here and we are good.
To make $14 million and become. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million.
Okay, so we might have a little bit of a problem.
It took 1 year for.
1 year. The year barely showed up and then the candy brand was already coming in. So let's just pull this. Here's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to move this whole candy brand section 4 frames as well to match the movement that we have just done on the upper side. 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So let's watch that again and see if it's better.
Make $14 million and become. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make 14.
Okay.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make.
Okay. So here, we're going to be working with the Joyride colors moving forward. Kind of, you know, just to make it, all right, and then we're going to say to make. Because the thing with high retention is it's so fast. People listen more with their ears, and what they are seeing on screen, the chaos they are seeing on screen is what keeps them watching, right? So to make $14 million, so we are queuing into $14 million. Let me just see. How long is this scene supposed to last? Let me know if I need this in between.
To make $14 million and.
Okay.
To make $14 million.
Okay, definitely we need that part. But here we are going to break the pattern up, right? We're going to break the pattern up. And how do we break that pattern up? We're going to change the background. So let's duplicate this 2. Let's duplicate this 2. And then let's pull it over here like this. And then what we are going to do is we're going to change the one at the bottom, which is the pale, you know, we're going to change it to pure white, sorry. And then we are going to make the one at the top to be not totally white, but see that color? Kind of white, but not white entirely. Yep. Just like a fade sort of. Yeah, to make
$14 million. To make $14 million and.
All right. Let's use our text exploder once again and explode this text and then delete this off.
To make 14 million.
Yo, what did I do? Supposed to be to make.
To make $14 million and to make $14 million to make 14 million.
Okay, so I love to watch it to feel the flow.
For this candy brand to make $14 million, this candy brand to
So the to make starts earlier.
candy brand to make $14 million.
Okay, so
for this candy brand to make $14 million, this candy brand to make
oh my.
For this candy brand to make $14 million and become for this candy brand to make 14.
So 14.
Brand to make 14.
14 starts somewhere here, right? We're going to duplicate this and then we're going to write the words 14 million, right? And then let's make it that green. Let's make it that green. So we are working our way into, building the whole animation. And then we want to make that countdown animation. So once again, let's center 14 million. I would say, should we try another font for this 14 million? Let's try Beba's book. Let's try Beba's bold. Scale it up, space it up, space. All right. Now we want to have a countdown effect from 0 to 14M. What I did was I asked After Effects to give me an expression that would count from 0 to 14 million, a layer relative time expression that will count from 0 to 14 million. So when it gave me this expression, I copied it and I put it in here. I think I'll put the expression in the comment section, in the description. So basically the expression says 2 seconds, start value 0, end value 14 million, and the rest ChatGPT has figured it out for us. So now what we are going to do is to make
dollars and become the most followed, make $14 million. So
I'm going to make this 1.
And to make $14 million and become the most followed, $14 million and
Okay.
$14 million.
And let's make this, let's see, 0.5. Can it work?
Make $14 million and become the most, make $14 million.
Yeah, that works.
Make $14 million and become the most, make $14 million and become, to make $14 million.
Let's see if we remove this to make, and then we just start off with $14 million. If that would be better.
This candy brand to make $14 million and become this
better.
candy brand to make $14 million.
That's better. So we're taking off the to make, and we're working with $14 million directly. All right. So after $14 million,
for this candy brand to make $14 million and for this candy brand to make $14 million and this candy brand to make $14 million. Candy brand to make $14 million.
So we're going to scale this layer in. We're not going to let this countdown happen in a static manner. So it's just going to be scaling up.
To make $14 million and be brand to make $14 million and become brand to make $14 million and become brand to make $14 million.
All right. And then coming back to Photoshop, we have this money splash. So how we can find money splashes, we are just going to go to vecteezy.com. And we're going to look for my internet is so bad. We're going to look for videos, and then we are going to say money splash. Okay. Okay, this one is free. I think I like it, so I'm going to download it. So our download is done. We're going to pull it in from our download folder. Oh, my bad. We're going to pull it in from our download folder into After Effects. And we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. So here we have
And become the most followed in their industry. Candy brand to make $14 million.
Okay, so this is not very fast right now. So how do we make it faster? What we are going to do is we're going to stretch the layer thinner, something like this. So we have that explosion.
$14 million and become the most followed in brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their brand to make $14 million and become the most followed brand to make $14 million and become.
Okay. So here for this layer, let's come back to this expression. We want it to last just a little longer than what it's lasting right now. So let's make it 1 second.
Make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. Brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. For this candy brand to make $14 million and be.
Okay.
Candy brand to make $14 million and
become the most followed. So we're going to go back to, we're just going to grab our I'm going to grab that Instagram. We're going to grab that Instagram layer of Joyride Suites. Just listen.
make $14 million and be.
Okay, and become the most followed. So what we want to do is scale this layer. We're going to scale it further. And how did we plan this in Photoshop? Okay, we planned it to highlight it. Okay.
Brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. This candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. Candy brand to make $14 million and become.
So here, and become the most followed. So what I want to do here is I want to make a countdown. Okay, first of all, let me add the effect. So I'm going to add an adjustment layer. Okay. I'm going to add a curves effect. I'm going to add a curves effect. Curves. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. Okay, then I'm going to pick up my ellipse tool. I'm going to highlight this section and I'm going to invert the mask. Then I'm going to feather that mask. I'm going to increase the, so we don't want it to be too obvious, sort of. We don't want it to be too obvious, so just a little bit to highlight here. Then what we are going to do is we're going to animate another countdown, but this time we're going to use the countdown layer we have over here already to animate this countdown. And how are we going to edit that expression to match what we have here? So what we need is 975K. So we come into the expression. So we're supposed to go here. We are going to go from 0 to 975, first of all. And then we're going to remove this part of this expression, the dollar. We're going to take it off. And then we are going to convert M to K. Okay? And then we're going to remove that scale keyframe for now. Let's remove it. And then let's use a font that matches this other font. Let's try mirrored. Let's just use Helvetica. Helvetica new. Helvetica new bold. Yeah, then let's reduce it. I mean, nobody's gonna know. It has to be obvious anyway. So let's put it here. And then what we are going to do next is we are going to pick our shape layer and we are going to draw a shape here. Remove the stroke and add a fill. Then we are going to drop it down. Okay. So we're just going to make the color match. Okay. You know, it's a little blur. This whole thing is a little blur. So I'm just going to add a fast box blur. I'm just going to make it 2. 1 instead. So it's not too sharp. Or 0.5 if that would work. Yeah, so it's not so sharp, like it blends in. It blends in now nicely. Let me zoom back out. It blends in nicely. And yeah, so I don't know if everybody understands what happened here. So I'm adding this shape layer here to cover the previous number. Then I added this one. Let me use ruler to line it up properly with followers. So I'm going to pull this down to line up with followers. So now what we are to expect is
This candy brand to make
let's cut this, okay?
$14 million and become the most followed in their
Okay, so we have that. The next thing we want to do is we want to parent the adjustment layer, everything to, you know what? Let's create a null. Let's just create a null at the center of our composition. I've created a null. This is the null at the center. And then we are going to parent everything here to the null. So if I scale the null, everything scales. Okay. And then what I want to do is
most followed in their industry and become the most followed.
Okay. I want to add 2 scale keyframes. And then I'm going to scale it up as that 957K followers.
Most followed in their industry.
I'm going to space it out for it to be like a slow zoom.
For this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry.
But regardless, I want it to be at a certain point on the screen. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's scale this whole thing down. Let's scale this whole thing down like this. Yeah, let's do that. And let's bring it up. Let's bring it upwards. Something like this. Perfect. Okay, then this adjustment layer is now small. So we're going to scale this and then we're going to pull it back into position like this. Then we'll move the mask. Control T to get that transform property. So that we have this highlighted. Okay, so we don't need that much scaling anymore. So we're just going to copy this, paste it here, and then make it like 65. So it's just a little scale that is happening. Then we still want it like somewhere here like this. Somewhere where the eye can see, sort of, right? Then let's put this guides over here. And then let's put a position property here. And what we want to do is, hold up. Let's take this off to avoid confusion. What we want to do is when it's scaling up, we don't want it to miss this point. So we're going to put a position property here. And then we are going to drag this back here, back down as it scales up. So that means it's going to be scaling up in one position. Can you see? So it's like the position and the scale are controlling how far. And I just want this whole bio to be here. Another thing I want to do is we can see the previous layer is showing underneath, and obviously we do not need that. So what I'm going to do is right click, add a new solid, make it all white, and then cut it to match. Okay, let me remove the adjustment layer first. Oh, I see. Okay, so now my adjustment layer is covering the whole, my adjustment layer is now covering the whole screen once again, which was the problem before. Let's further reduce this curves effect and make it darker. All right, so let's play it.
In their industry. So I reverse engineered this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So
I still am not satisfied about that in a way. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's too zoomed out. So what I want to do is want to scale everything once again. Something like this. Yeah. And then for my position keyframes, I would bring it back into focus once again. And then do the same over here. Another thing I want to do is, I think I want to add, hold up. Sorry, sometimes it's tricky, but there's a lot happening on screen and I don't want it to look distracting. I really don't want it to look distracting. So whosoever is going to be viewing this. So I think I've figured out what I want to do here. I'm still going to drag it back into that position so that the scaling lines up. Then for this adjustment layer, once again, I will scale it down to this point, right? Scale it down like this. And then I'm going to add a fast box blur effect. And then I'm going to make it like 5. So what this does for me is that it takes other things in the frame out of focus. I can make it like 8. It takes other things in the frame out of focus. Yeah, you see that effect it gives us there. So we are able to focus on 957,000 followers. You see? I think it's cool now. I think it's cool. I think it's very cool. We can now make the other parts darker. Okay. And maybe add a little grain. Oh, let's take that off. All right. So once again, let's just watch everything up to where we have it now.
So I reverse engineered. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry.
Okay, come back to this layer. The countdown is stopping too quickly. We don't want it to stop that quickly. So we're going to come back to the source text and we're going to say, make this 2 seconds.
Followed in their industry. And become the most followed in their,
Okay. I think we have a good thing going here. Then let's come back to in their industry, right? We're going to bring the text in their industry in. Before we do that, let's cut these layers. And for these layers as well, let's cut them. So like you can see now, we have been stacking the layers. We've been stacking the layers all together. Save, always remember to save your projects. Then in their industry comes with the text T. Let's just, so I'm going to copy. Here's the thing. It's kind of the same vibe. This layout is the same layout with this one, sort of, not exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this 3. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to push it to the top. Then pull it to the side like this. So we have
most followed in their, and become the most followed in.
So this is where in their industry is supposed to happen.
followed in their industry.
Okay, so we have in their industry. Have the words in no. Want it small letters in their industry. All right. Then we reduce the size, right? Reduce the size. Let's bring our, yeah, so this is the center. And then like we saw in Photoshop, we have the Joyride suites all around. And what we are now going to do is we're going to bring them in. Remember 1, 2, 3. Let's just drag them over here like this. And then we are going to match them to the layer. We want to scale them down. Yes. Want to scale them down. And then we're going to space them out in different directions. For this one, we are going to duplicate it and space it out. And then scale it up. Okay, want to frame the word in their industry. And then rotate this in opposite directions. Rotate this like this. Let's just move it up so it doesn't look like everything is being uniform. And then rotate this as well. Okay. All right. In their industry. So what we are going to do is for each of them, we're going to go 10 frames in and we're going to add a keyframe. Then at the beginning, we're going to add a keyframe again. And what we're going to do is we're going to move each of them out of frame like this, out of frame. And all of them are out of frame. Then we are going to randomize we're just going to randomize them. And we're going to make them come in quite quickly and slow down towards the end.
In their industry and become the most followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry and be
Okay, so for each of them, once again, I'm going to add a rotation keyframe. To the endings for all of them. And at the beginning, I'm going to kind of give it a different rotation and a different one towards the middle. Okay, so if it ends like this, I want the rotation to be on the opposite side. Sort of. Okay. Oh, that rotation is too much, way too much. Way too much. All right. Okay. So for this one, the rotation ends at plus 10. So we are going to start it at plus 10. Wait. Here the rotation ends at plus 10. So we started at plus 10. Towards the middle. Oh, my bad. Okay. And then for this one, let's copy the first keyframe. Okay, I don't know how I'm feeling about this visual. I can't seem to nail this particular screen the way I had it in mind. But regardless, I'll just keep going for now. Okay, so let's just
in their industry and become the most followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry.
Oh, that's not what I want at all. That's not what I want. So I'm just going to close all of them down for now, and I'm going to focus on this text. That's not what I want at all. Okay, let's make the text slightly bigger. And then using my animation composer once again, I'm going to use this effect in. Okay, so let's say
in their industry and become the most followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry. In their industry and become the most followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry.
Okay. Okay, so here's a little trick I want to use to transition between these two scenes. I'm going to use a light leak here, but I'm going to be creative about it. Just watch. So I'm going to pick one of my light leaks. Where's my editing packs? Oh my God, where is it? Yeah. Vintage light leaks, correct. And then come here. Okay, so I think this is the one I want. So okay, so we're going to drop in the light leak. Sorry, we're going to drop in the light leak over here. Okay, I personally do not like to use the light leak, to be honest, but we're going to have to use it here just to make this section a little distracting. And if it's not cool, we're going to take it off immediately. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my hue and saturation layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to desaturate this light leak. So it's sort of white now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the layer, the blend mode to screen. Yeah, I think that's what I need. Yeah, something like that. So it's no more the vintage, the typical, vintage light leak that we have. So without that, this is what it looks like.
Followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry and become the most followed in their industry and
Okay. So what I'm thinking that would work better here is to bring in the screenshot. Okay, so I have a better idea here. What I think would work better is to bring in the screenshot for this section, scale it down. Okay, keep scaling it down. Keep scaling it down. My bad, my bad, my bad. Want to scale it down a lot. And then what we want to do is want to mask it with a rounded rectangle, something like this. Okay. I'm pressing my down button to reduce the roundness. Okay, so something like this. Then let's put our anchor point at the middle of the mask. And then we can scale it down easier. Okay. Then we add a drop shadow. I'm going to put this here. Let's change this text to normal black. Okay. And then let's add a drop shadow to this. Layer styles. Where's our layer styles? Drop shadow. Increase the size. Increase the distance like this. Pick this darker part of the layer. Okay. Let me just take this title action save and see what it looks like. Okay, so let's just see. So this, if you ask me, this is looking good. Oh, this layer is still parented to null1, so we have to remove that parenting for these two layers because they are duplicates. And what I want to do is I want to parent this in their industry layer. I want to parent it to this screenshot layer. So when it comes in like this, it's not static, it's scaling up. Yeah. Something like that. So it's always important that we keep motion constant.
and become the most followed in their industry. And become the most followed in their industry.
So we are having, just put this on half.
Industry. And become the most followed in their industry.
Okay, so this is good. This is good. Let's see what the flow looks like once again.
$1 million and become the most followed in their industry. So it took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So it took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So it took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So
I'm thinking for this transition, how about we bring in another light leak and do the same white. We do the same trick of removing the desaturation. Yeah, I think that's a great effect. So we bring it in like this, and then let's just come to this layer. Hold up. Screen. And let's just paste it on this layer like this.
Dollars and become the most followed in.
Let's scale this down. And let's rotate it 90 degrees so it covers the screen properly.
$1 million and become the most followed in their industry. So it took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry.
Okay, scale. Okay, we are good. So we just add like a camera shutter sound here for that transition. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so now what's the next part? I reverse engineered. All right, let's get into it.
So I reverse engineered their two.
So I reverse engineered. So what we are going to do is we're going to bring in the gear icon over here. And first of all, let's keep the gear icon over here for a minute at this center, because we have this thing lined up at this center. And then what we want to do here, we're going to zoom this in, and once again we are going to adjust, like cut it. And just like we have in our Photoshop document over here, reverse engineered, we're going to have the word reverse. Okay. We're going to have the word reversed. We're going to break it down. We're going to cut it down, cut down the layer. And what we want to do is we want to put it in a circular path here. Okay. So what are we going to do? Select our ellipse tool, make it a mask. Come to this. Let me zoom in. Come to the center. We are on the text layer. Do not forget. We're on the text layer. The text is not showing right now because it's white. So let me just make it black. We are on the text layer. Can you see reverse? I'm zoomed in. So I'm going to stand at this middle. I'm going to hold my Control plus Shift. Okay, and we're going to have something like this. Okay. Now, this is a mask inside the text layer. I'm going to come to my path options on that text, come to path and choose mask 1. Then I'm going to reverse the mask. Once again, I'm going to change the text color now to white. So then I'm going to reduce the size. I can also spread it out. Okay, so I have that part now. I have that reverse part figured out. So what I want to do is I want to parent it. Another thing is, before we proceed, I want the gear icon for this section. I want it to have this purple color. So what I'm going to do is, for this gear icon, I'm going to come to my effects and presets. Oh, okay. So I'm going to add a fill effect. Double click to add it to that layer. Make sure that layer is selected. And then I'm going to pick this color and come back here. You see it's now this color. All right. So for this text layer, I also want the anchor point to be at this center. My bad. I want the anchor point to be at this center and it's aligned now. So if I scale it up a little bit, you see it still looks good. So in this case, in the Photoshop document, we had reverse at the top. Yeah, so what we want to do is pull it like this, open it up like this to this point. Come back into the text property, come back into the path options and reverse it. Okay, and then increase the what's it called? Hold on. I think we're on track. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So let's reduce it. Reduce the text size. Reduce it like this as well. Okay. So we have reverse. And then what we are going to do is duplicate both of them. But before that, make sure that the reverse is parented to the gear. So if you rotate it now, can you see? It's perfect. If you rotate it, it's perfect. Then the next thing we want to do is duplicate both of them. Duplicate both of them. Move it somewhere here like this. Okay, and then engineered. Reverse engineered. I think that's exactly what he said.
So I reverse engineered the. So I reverse engineered the.
Reverse engineered. Yeah, that's correct. Now, what we want to do for engineered is we want to scale it down like this, and then we want to reverse the path. So that we can rotate it. Increase the size. Increase the size. All right. Okay. So here's where we are going to tweak. Like I said, I'm doing all of this on the go. I'm literally doing all of this on the go. Let's see, let's reduce the size a bit of this second gear. All right. Then we make all these 4 layers 3D. Then we add a camera. We add a camera here. Using our motion tools, we're going to add a null to the camera. So we're going to be animating the null. And what I want to do is I want to scale Oh, that might not look very good for the engineered. Let's see. Okay. Let's bring it down. I'm using the camera now. I'm using the camera now. This doesn't still look very good to me. It looks like I think this other gear, one should be bigger, one should be smaller, yeah, just for emphasis. I think it looks better that way. But now it doesn't fit, and I can't control it because these are PNG images. So I just have to find a way to sort of make it work. Oh my, we are scaling it back again. That's okay. All right. So I'm going to select both gears. For this first gear, we are rotating the R. Okay, so we are just going to do at this position plus mark the position the gear is currently standing is plus 15. So we're going to go all the way here and do a plus 360. Okay, just put plus 360 and it's After Effects will automatically calculate it. Okay, plus 360. All right, then let's also come here to this other gear, and then we have a 0. Let's go all the way to the end here. To be honest, I've never animated gears before, but I'm just going to figure it out because everything is keyframing. Then we're going to make it 360 because this one is on 0. So let's look at what the animation looks like.
So I reverse engineered it.
Okay, so the gears are animating against each other, which is typically not how gears move. So I'm going to make this minus, and then let's see. So
I reverse engineered it.
Yeah.
I reverse
Engineered it. So I reverse engineered it. So I reverse engineered
It's
it.
working.
So I reverse engineered it. So I reverse engineered it. So I reverse engineered it. So
Okay, so the gear is working now. The gear is working. I can still try to for the reverse, let's just try to play around. a little bit, just something like this. Yeah, I think this is better. A little demarcation helps, yeah? So I reverse engineered. Now what we are going to do next is,
so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy.
now the movement is way too much, right? The movement is way too much, like it's moving a lot. One can barely see the word reverse engineered. So what we are going to do is we're going to move this keyframe to give it more timing. And this is still a lot of movement.
So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy.
Okay.
So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy.
Okay. So now we want engineered and reversed to be at the same position. So we're going to come back to engineer. Remember, we had set up the anchor point, so we are not going to have any problems readjusting it. We're adjusting it like this, and yeah, I think so. I reverse engineered. Okay, so you know what I'm thinking now is, what if we try to add more gears to this scene? Let's just duplicate one of these gears at the beginning. Let's just duplicate one of them. Okay, and pull them over. Let's try to make it stand on its own. Okay, so let's see.
So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands.
Yo, something went off. Oh, my bad. What did I do? Okay. My bad, my bad. I'm going to title this new gear. Yeah, so that mistake doesn't happen. So this is a duplicated one. This is a duplicated one. And yeah, we have that rotating, but then I want, for contrast, I want to increase the size. No, sorry, new gear. I want to increase the size so we can have some level of contrast in this, for these gears, right? I'm going to put it something like this here, and okay, so this looks weird because it's grinding on top of the other one. So let's just pull it over here. Let's just pull it somewhere over here like this. Okay, so for this new gear, there's a little trick I'm going to use. It looks like it's sliding in a way, so let's pull it away a little bit and let's see. Yes, that's great. That's great. Now what we are going to do is for this new gear, we are still building this scene because each scene has to be good. So let's go to the fill and let's pick a less saturated color like this. Yeah, something like this. And then we are going to duplicate this new gear once again. Pull it up, bring it to this other section as well. Oh my God, sorry guys, I know this is such a long tutorial, but it's really catering to beginners that do not know anything in After Effects. So everything has to be detailed. Okay, and then for this part, what we are going to do is we are going to do the opposite of the rotation. So we are going to remove this minus and keep it positive. So it's now going to be grinding properly. Can you see? And all we have to now do is position it properly. Just position it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to happen very quickly. Oh, it's still overlapping, so I might want to scale it down a bit. Still going to overlap, but yeah, this is better. Yeah, this is better. And I think for this one, what I should do to make it better as well is to move it away, that we can still see that the rotation matches. Still touching. I wish I had gears with different teeth so that I could match them in, but unfortunately I don't have that and I don't really have the time now. So what I'm going to do is for this scene, I'm going to add an adjustment layer. I'm going to add an adjustment layer. Pull it up to the top, and we're going to add a blur just to make everything sort of, would I say a cinematic feel. So let's just come to our effect and presets, add a fast box blur. We don't want to do too much, something around like 8 should work perfectly. And then we pick our shape tool and draw a mask. Control T to give us controls over the mask. And then we just scale it a little bit like this. Okay. And we invert the mask, and then we come into the mask property and feather it out. So it just gives that little blur at the edges to put the focus more on the engineered. And maybe another thing we can do is we can add our curves effect and can make those parts darker. We can make those parts slightly darker. So this is without the adjustment layer, it's flat. When we add this layer now, it has that focus effect to it. So let's play it and see what it looks like.
That most brands are completely ignoring. It starts, so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts, so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and...
Okay, so let's play it from this scene into this scene to see how it looks.
And become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel.
Okay, so let's try a zoom in. Where is our camera now? And we're going to zoom into this scene. Okay, so we're going to start it like this. And let's say here, we're just going to keep it somewhere here like this. Or let's zoom out again a bit and let's add okay, let's add this.
Industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and industry. So I reverse engineered their
So two-step strategy starts here. So this is a very fast scene. So I reverse engineered. And as we planned for two-step strategy, the plan was just two-step strategy. So like, just as we planned, that's exactly what we are going to do. We'll just say two-step strategy. Okay. And then we're going to make it this layer color and make it black. Then we're going to cut it here. My caps lock, as usual, is what is causing that inability to preview. So let's scale it up and let's enter this into the next layer. Bring it down. Scale it up, scale it up. Okay.
their two-step strategy.
So two-step strategy, this is where it ends. And once again, I'll use my text exploder. And I'm going to just explode the text and then delete the main text off. So now we have the text in 3 different layers. Scale this bad boy. Okay. All right. Scale everything down. Okay. Two-step strategy. All right. So we're going to play this section. You see how we keep moving from one section to another section and we are not interrupting, we're not touching the other section anymore.
Their two-step strategy.
So I think step is said around here. And then strategy is somewhere around here. So
their two-step strategy and
two-step strategy.
Their two-step strategy and
I'm always concerned how it goes from one scene to another scene.
So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy, and 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 so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy, and
Okay, looks fair enough. Oh, comes from the bottom. Wait.
their two-step strategy, and so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy, and so I reverse.
Okay, so for a pattern disrupt, I think we're going to come to our animation composer and we're going to add a text effect here. We're going to add this text effect so the text doesn't look bad.
And so I reverse engineered their two-step strategy, and so
Pull this marker.
strategy, and so I reverse engineered their two-step 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 strategy, and
Okay. All right, and I do not know how I feel about this particular adding this animation here. I'm going to take it out. And then the next part is this marketing channel. Okay, so this part is secret marketing channel. So I think there's something I want to do here. In addition to this, because sort of we are coming from a blank screen, two-step strategy to secret marketing channel. And I would want that to be more interesting.
and found the secret marketing channel they're using that, and found the secret
Let's just
their two-step strategy, and found.
Yeah, I think it might be okay now to add this text effect to this strategy. Let's add it. I think it wouldn't be a bad.
And found the secret marketing their two-step strategy, and their two-step strategy.
You know what I think? Let's just get the envelope vector design that we need. It's going to be something like this. It's going to be something like this. This is a PNG. We can make this in After Effects. Yeah. We can make this in After Effects real quick. Okay. So let's get started. Let me see if this has an EPS version like here. Oh no, it doesn't. So we can make this in After Effects. And how we are going to make it is, first of all, we're going to draw a box. We're going to draw a box. And before that, another thing I want to do is I want this background to be purple. So let's come here, new solid, make this background this purple. Okay, and bring it down. Then make this layer, make it yellow, kind of that male icon. Something like this is good. and I'm going to come to the size, bring it down just a little bit. And let's look at the icon again. Okay, so let's duplicate it. Duplicate it like this. Convert to Bezier part. Yeah. And then add a point here, just like we do in Illustrator or any other software, and then bring this up somewhere here. Then make the color slightly deeper. I think that's how it is. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Then the next thing we want to do is duplicate. Let's duplicate this one again. Move it like this and then drop it down. So this is the part of the envelope that is open. We're going to make the color lighter a bit. Okay. And this one is on top. So I think that's okay. Then we are going to bring the I'm going to move this. Then we're going to add this. And then make it white. Okay. For this layer, I'm going to add a drop shadow. So let's just name our layers white paper. That will always help me remember. Then go to layer styles, add a drop shadow, increase the distance, and increase this. Reduce the opacity. Always pick the color and then make it a darker version of the color. Very, very important. Then another thing we want to do is we want to add the marketing funnel. Where's the word? Marketing channel, not funnel. Marketing channel. So we're going to add the words marketing Then we're going to increase it up like this. Okay. Secret marketing channel. I'll just take these guides off. And then what I think I want to do is I want everything here to be 3D. And then I want it to be driven by a null. So I'm just going to add a null. So we have this null. Let me see, hope it's controlling everything. Yeah, it's controlling everything. And then what I'm going to do is add an adjustment layer, add curves, and then add my mask. Something like this. Blur, fast box blur. Let's just add the fast box blur there. I'm going to make it something like 10. And how is that looking? Let me zoom back into my layer. Okay. Another thing I want to do is, I feel like the darkening is too much. Okay. All right. So okay, so now let's animate. We're literally almost done.
Their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel.
Okay, so for this secret, we want the same thing that is happening with this strategy here. We want that same animation, but for secret. So we're going to change, let's just change this to white. Then let's write secret. Just write secret.
Found the secret marketing channel. Found the secret.
I'm just trying to make this particular scene. Can you imagine? I'm just trying to make this particular scene more interesting than it already is. Okay.
Found the secret marketing channel.
Okay. Let's keep this guy, the adjustment layer from the beginning, secret marketing channel. And then for this point, we are going to scale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to scale in. Put an ease at the beginning, make the front 0, and then we're going to add an elastic from our motion tools to make it bouncy. Okay. Then we are going to add a position keyframe. Add a position keyframe. And what we want to do is, we want to make it come from the bottom a bit. Okay. So,
Psychology. Secret marketing channel. There.
okay. And then another thing is we want to add a rotation. There's a way I want it to rotate into the screen.
Found the secret marketing channel. They're using that. Found the secret marketing channel. They're using that. The secret marketing channel. They're using that. Found the secret marketing channel.
It's also secret marketing. I want as it's scaling in. Where's the white paper? Where's the white paper layer? Yes, secret marketing. I want to parent it to the white paper layer. So as it's scaling in, yeah. So it's going to be like this. We're going to drop it down like this. Let's bring this down over here. Yeah. Okay. As it's scaling in, I need to shave off a little from the bottom. So I'm going to convert this to a Bezier part so I can manipulate it myself. I'm going to push this upwards, upwards, upwards. Okay. Not a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add this path keyframe over here for this path. And then when it's down, I'm going to add this path keyframe. Okay. Let me pull it here to where I can see it. I I really just want it to not be visible at the beginning as much. Then I'm going to ease both of them. I'm going to add an elastic bounce. So
secret marketing.
So at the end, for the path, we want it to come down. We want it to come down like this. My bad. Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Okay, you know what? What I can do is to unparent this first. Remove the null first. Fix this path issue. Okay, and then parent them back. So I think now everything should be perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. So let's watch that. Let's see how it's looking.
They found the secret marketing channel. They're using that. Found the secret marketing channel. They're using that. Found the secret marketing channel. They're using that. Found the secret market. Found the secret.
Sorry. Let's push the marketing channel part forward a bit.
Secret marketing channel. They're using that. Most brand. Found the secret marketing channel. They're using that.
Sorry, my After Effects is going crazy. Let me reduce the preview. If the After Effects is going crazy like mine, another thing you can do is you can purge the cache. Just purge everything. That should help.
Secret marketing channel. They're using that. Marketing channel. Marketing channel. They're using that.
So now what we have here is the next part. So this part has come to an end. So the next part here is this, that most let's just add the word that first. Hold up. Okay. I need to change that text color to this purple. Okay, so let's go now. So from here, we just want that most brands.
They're using that. Most brands are completely ignoring. It's channel. They're using that. Most brands are completely ignoring. It's channel. They're using that. Most brands are completely channel. They're using that. Most channel. They're using that. Channel. They're using that. Channel. They're using that.
Okay, so that happens around here. Let's pull our guys over here.
Channel. They're using that. Most brands are.
Hold up.
The secret marketing channel. They're using that. Most secret marketing channel. They're using that. Most brands. The secret marketing channel. They're. the secret marketing channel they're using that the secret marketing channel they're using that most.
Okay, so for this part, that most brands Okay, that's most brands. So I'm going to add the text effect here again, this particular one.
Most brands are completely ignoring. Using that most brands are completely ignoring. Most brands are completely ignoring. It's that most brands are.
And then let's duplicate this one up to the top. Then add the word are
completely ignoring. Most brands are completely.
There's an overlap there. Yeah, you can see it. And then we duplicate again, completely ignoring the words completely. Ignoring. Okay, completely ignoring. Okay.
Completely. Most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their brands are completely ignoring.
Okay, so we're going to do a little text effect here. Just something, not something too serious, but let's just break this text up, delete this one out.
Brands are completely.
So completely starts here. Okay, let's put, here's what I want to do. Just put the anchor point up here and then put the anchor point at the bottom here. Now let's scale them down, both of them. Somewhere here like this, completely ignoring. Okay. So
Completely ignoring. Are completely ignoring. Are completely ignoring.
So we have ignoring here. Completely ignoring. I'm going to put a position keyframe here, plus a scale keyframe here. And at this beginning, I'm going to put the completely at this point. And I'm going to scale it up. Oh, no. I'm going to scale it down like this. I'm going to convert this to hold keyframes. So you see what that does? So I can further reduce it and take it up, and then increase the ignoring when it appears and take it up as well. So we have that little text effect, just gives an illusion of an animation over there. So everything is not just on a straight line. It doesn't become too boring to watch.
Found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. They're using that most they're using that.
Okay, so for this part that they're using, I think we would need to add.
Found the secret marketing channel they're using.
We need to add the word they're using over there, because right now it looks very tacky. It looks very tacky, and I think I would keep it in small letters. What am I doing? It's supposed to be this. Okay, so
Found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. Found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. Found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. They found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. They found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring.
Okay, let's play everything.
Reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. And found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. And found the secret marketing channel they're using that most.
See, that word most brands starts very, very late. And that's not cool at all. So let's pull it back. Let's watch that, because I'm observing some kind of drop off at that point.
Most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. They secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are.
So I'm going to have to edit this voice over here.
Most brands are complete. Most brands are. Most brands are complete. Brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their.
Okay, completely ignoring. So it starts with their content psychology. So what we are going to do is, for that content psychology section, We are going to download a few videos from the Joyride Instagram page, that is their content, and then we are going to have the word content psychology layered on top of it. So let's do that. Okay, so the last part is it starts with their content psychology.
Completely ignore it. It starts with their content psychology.
Okay, so how do we want to design this part? Here's what we want to do, right? Let's pull this for this scene and let's go to our downloads. I want to stack up this up. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to mask each of these because I want to show sort of the content on their page, yeah? So I'm going to mask each of these and then center it, duplicate it, select the whole mask and move it to reveal the other one. Center the anchor point again, duplicate the whole mask and move it again. Okay, so I just want groups of 3 and you see where we are headed with this. Then for this part, I'm going to also bring this second part in. I'm going to pull it down. I want to make sure that it matches. So I'm going to put my anchor point over here and then line it up. Let me line it up properly. And then I'm just going to scale it down a bit, right? Just a bit, just reduce here. I think that lines up pretty nicely. And then I'm going to mask it. So we just need groups of 3. I'll pick up my mask tool, mask it. Mask it, duplicate it, duplicate it, and then move the mask again to reveal this part. So now we have 3 parts, but for some reason it's not all laid out properly. So you know what, I'll just parent all of this to this first one. I'll just parent all of them to this first one for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make them line up as much as I can. So let's scale. .5. But this is just me being a perfectionist. Let me remove the parenting because I'm done for that part. And then what I want to do is I want to bring in the Joyride Suites bio. Okay. All right. All right. So select everything and move it here like this, okay? And then make sure we cut properly, as we should. And then we add the word content psychology. Content psychology. Okay, let's reduce it again and pull it up like this. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that layer once again. So we have content psychology. Let's bring it over here. Let's make sure we are focused on our timeline once again. First things first. Okay, first things first. We're going to make all the layers 3D, all right? And we're going to add a camera. New, camera, okay. And then we're going to add a null. Okay. So our stuff has moved a bit. Using our null now, we can center everything. We can center everything.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology.
So
It starts with their content.
So this is the place where the word content comes up. I'm just going to put a marker there. And then I'm going to animate the camera moves first before I do anything else. Okay, so let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Like this. Let's just put 2 keyframes first. How do we want this to move? So let's try to make it come in from the bottom. So from the bottom, something like this.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology. It starts.
And then let's add a little bit of a zoom out when it's coming in.
It starts with their content psychology.
Okay, we want this whole thing to show up like this. Let's watch that again.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content. It starts with their content.
So we want the word content psychology to be in focus at this point. Something sort of like this. Okay, so let's just watch that again. We are going to fix the graph.
Their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology.
Let's just put this to 10 frames. Move it forward and then move 10 frames and drop this here. So let's watch.
It starts with their content psychology.
Okay. Select both of them, move them down. Oh yeah, I wasn't wrong on that frame because content psychology is supposed to show from here. Let me just cut it so I can see what I'm doing clearly. Oh my, what am I doing? Cut only the content psychology letter. Okay, and then let's add our easing. You know what, let's just play this on hold keyframes.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's just put it over here. Let's see how that looks again.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology.
All right, so let's do this. Let's add our easing. Let's come in here. Let's play around with the ease like this.
Starts with their content psychology. It 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 starts with their content psychology.
All right. So we're going to add the animation composer effect. I'm going to add the text layer. Let's just add this.
Their content psychology. It starts with 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 their content psychology.
All right, so now the animation is a little bit underwhelming, which I totally understand. Now what we are going to do is, for all these screens that we are using, except the profile, so all these 6 underneath, I'll just title this profile header so we don't confuse it. Profile header, and we're going to scale, use the scale property 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that all of them are on 0 at the beginning. So there's like 0 scale, and then for all of them, we're going to come to our motion tool, select all the keyframes, and add the elastic to create that bouncy effect. Okay, now it's very, very important that when we select all of them again and make sure that their anchor points are at the middle, so they scale from the middle. Okay, and now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to make sure that they are offset 2 frames. You can do this manually, or you can use your motion V2 to do this. So it's set to 2 frames offset, and then we sequence. So you see it's going to be something like this. Let me just keep this properly on screen. So let's watch it.
Psychology. It starts with their content 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 psychology.
Okay, so I think let me select these keyframes and push them back 1 or 2 steps. That would make the bounce more intense. But let's
starts with their content psychology. It starts
with their content. It starts with their content. It starts with their content.
Okay.
It starts with their content psychology. 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 It starts with their content.
So I don't want the content psychology taking too much time, so I'm going to move this marker backwards so that it reveals faster.
Psychology. It starts with their content 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 psychology.
All right, and as usual, I like to, I don't know why, but I just feel like I love to add that I love to add that blur, that little blur around most of the time. I love to add that little blur around most of the time. So I'm going to add a new, select this layer, add a new adjustment layer once again. And I'm going to add that fast box blur. I'm just going to put it to like 7. And then we're going to make it like this. Use Ctrl T. Create something like this. Rotate it. Okay, and yeah, and then we're going to invert the mask. Then we're going to feather that mask. Okay, just feather it some more. Let's reduce the intensity of the blur just a bit. Let's just make it like 3. Yeah, just a bit. And then let's add the curves effect. Curves effect, and just try to add a nice touch. Okay. All right, so we've animated to the end of this animation, and this is another important part of this animation. Now I'm going to add motion blur to every layer. I'm going to add motion blur to every layer, and let's just play what we have done so far, and let's see what we have done. Okay. Let me remove these handles.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology.
Okay, so something is off with the content psychology section. Okay, I can see what the problem is. I can see it's the adjustment layer. I can see what the problem is.
It starts with
Okay.
It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology. It starts with their content psychology.
So maybe we can make this content psychology smaller. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Now we are going to look at parts of this animation that is underwhelming in a way, and we are going to fix them. So from this part where it says from two-step strategy, I find it very underwhelming. Secret marketing channel, I find it very underwhelming. And this section as well, I find it very underwhelming. So we are going to fix this section. We have to fix this section. Either change the graphics we are using or use more animations or something. We have to fix this area. So that's what we are going to do next. Okay, so when I find something very underwhelming like this, I most likely try to correct it. So I'm going to I pre-composed that whole mail icon and I took it out entirely. So what I want to do is I want to create a graphic that looks more like this. So secret let's reduce the size. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's reduce the size up here. Okay. And then pull this over here, secret marketing. I think this would be nice as small letters. Yeah. Secret, let's Let me just lock this adjustment layer so it's not affecting me when I'm trying to touch. Secret marketing channel. Okay, and unlock the adjustment layer. I want to, so that it's shown, the word channel is shown. But we still want that blur effect in there. Then, you see how we have these lines coming in? That's kind of what I want to replicate. So come from the top here. Okay. Okay. Pull this. Okay. And remove the fill, add a stroke, reduce the stroke size. Okay. Let's make this fill the screen once again. And oh my bad. Let's bring it down to its section and drop it up here. Then we are going to cut it according to the layer, accordingly. I think it is a little bit in front. Okay, secret marketing channels, those are animating on. All right, then I think I want this to be a certain shade of yellow. Let me pick, this composition now, let me pick this shade of yellow. And let me come back to my main composition. I just went to pick the color, so it has nothing to do with what we are doing here. Okay. All right. Then what I want to do is I want to add rounded corners. So I come to this shape layer. I'm going to name it line, so we know the layer we are on. I click here, I click into content, and I click add, and then I click rounded corners. What this will do is it's going to make my corners rounded like this. I don't want to go too far with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my path and I'm going to adjust. I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it. Okay. I'm going to adjust it. Pull this. Back like this. Pull this upwards a bit. So then after that's done, I'm going to adjust my, what's it called now? I'm going to adjust my text, each of them. I'm going to adjust each of them. I need to reduce the spacing between the letters so the letters can breathe a bit. So we're going to have secret, we're going to have channel over here in this corner. And then we're going to have marketing. Let's reduce the spacing between the letters again so the letters can breathe. We're going to move it here like this. And then we're going to move secret over here as well. Okay, so what next are we going to do? Let's move the marketing to the right. Another thing we are going to do now is we're going to add a shape layer. I don't want to keep dragging layers up and down from the top. So I'm just going to add a shape layer, cut it down. Okay, and I'm just going to add some circles. I'm just going to add some circles. I'm just going to add some circles. My bad. So let's copy this color, come over to fill and paste it. So secret, then we are going to duplicate this. We're going to put this here, somewhere here. We're going to duplicate it again. And it's just to give the idea that something is flowing, you know, like a channel where something is flowing through. Let's push the marketing once again to the side, like this, and then let's push the channel up once again like this. Okay, so let's play this whole thing.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using. Found the secret.
So secret marketing. Marketing starts somewhere here. And then let's just say channel. Channel starts somewhere here. Okay. Let's play that again.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret
they're using. So let's try to drag that section all the way over here, and then let's just switch this part off and see.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and
secret marketing. So from
and found the secret marketing and found the.
So I think we might want this to happen a little faster.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and.
All right, so for this line, I think let's try changing it to dotted lines. Let's try adding dash to it. So we come into, I think, the stroke property here, and then we add dashes to it. Then we add the dash. What we want to do is increase the dash like this. And then let's try to reduce the size of the stroke just a little bit. Yeah, and then let's reduce the size of let's increase the size of the dash. Okay, all right. And we want the dashes to be offsetting itself through this whole. So when we animate the offset of the dashes, it's going to be offsetting down in minus position. So this is what that would look like.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using. That and found the secret marketing channel they're using.
Okay, that's very distracting. So I'd want to reduce that animation to, let's say, minus 500.
and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that.
Okay, and let's reduce it further to minus 300. Let's see if that looks better.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're.
Okay, so now what we are going to do is we're going to add a trim path over here, and we're going to start it somewhere here. Animate the end property. And then at this point, I think that's where I want it to reach the end. So let's see how that looks like.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using.
Okay. Then let's put some easing to it.
That and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're.
Okay, no, let's make the easing intense at the front.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using.
Okay.
And found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that.
Okay, so another thing we want to do is we want the objects to scale in when the path is very close to them. So we'll make this one 0 at this point. And it would need at least 5 frames to scale up nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 5 frames. And add the elastic to it. Yeah. So at this point as well, for this last one, we need at least 5 frames. 5 frames. Okay.
Found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and found the secret marketing channel they're using that and.
So personally, I feel like this is better.
Near their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that near their two-step strategy and found the secret.
I feel like this is better.
Near their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. Near their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. Near their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing
channel they're
using that most brands are completely ignoring. Near.
For me, I think this works. I think this works.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry.
All right, so finally, for the last touch, what we are now going to do is we're going to add an adjustment layer on top of everything. Adjustment layer. And we are going to add posterized time and reduce this to 12 frames. And you see what it's going to do to the animation now, the whole animation, the whole sequence. So let's go. Okay, it's rendering again. So let's just see. You see what it does to the animation.
It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology. It took 1 year for this candy brand to make $14 million and become the most followed in their industry. So I reverse engineered their two-step strategy and found the secret marketing channel they're using that most brands are completely ignoring. It starts with their content psychology.
All right. So that's it for the tutorial. If you have any questions, you want to ask, feel free to ask. It's just a 14-second animation. It's taking so much time because I have to explain a lot of things to you guys. So if you have any questions, you have anything you want to ask, like I said, feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'll be in the comment section answering any questions that you might have. Okay? See you guys in my next video.